Good morning. Good morning to the West Coast. Good morning to the East Coast. How are you? Well, take that deep breath. We got to keep breathing through it. I am Janine Macklin, transformational speaker, your wealth guide and catalyst, and we are on a journey together. Unknowingly, we're on a journey together. I started this in March just as some support, empowerment, and inspiration, and now we are in August, heading towards September. And I do remember early on saying to you, be mindful that we're going to be in this until December. Well, we're going to be in this until we get a vaccine. And here we are with December kind of in our sights. We're aware of it. But you've made it. You've hung in there. You've made it, as difficult as it may have been for some of you. You've trusted. You've made choices. You made decisions. You've had to make some powerful decisions, I'm sure, that you probably didn't think you'd have to make, but you made it. I just want to stop by today, though, and talking about a Monday mindset, a powerful mindset that I really don't talk about that much. And that is for you to tap into what is it for you? What is it that you turn to that gives you a sense of strength and power that you can anchor yourself in or lean on? And for me, it's my ancestors. It's my ancestors. Now, that's on two levels. Some of you have, not answers, but you have elders who here on this side of the planet. And when it gets tough and you're trying to figure out what to do, one of the first things I would say is tap into what's your belief. What are you anchoring yourself in? What are you anchoring your family in? What do you anchor your truth in? What do you anchor yourself in as it relates to life, difficulties, a sense of faith, something that you can stand on and in and trust? You know, what is that for you? For me, it's always been spirituality. Elders on this side, although I don't have as many elders as I used to on this side. And then on the other side, it would be my ancestors. If you have elders that are here, you're not alone. You don't have to do this by yourself. And you don't have to struggle. Trust me, all of our elders have been through difficult times before. They know how to, they used to call it pinch pennies. They know how to navigate through these difficult times when there seems to be a shortage, because we know there's not a shortage. There's more than enough on this planet, in the universe. What's being revealed to us through the current presidency is how it's been abused, how it's been taken advantage of. But not that it's not here, that it's always here. There's always more than enough. So if you have any elders that are present, that's who you want to talk to. You want to listen to them. Stop giving them a hard time about some of the things they may say, because they've made it through depressions. They've made it through World War I's and II's. They've been there. For many of us, this is new. To have a different mindset about how you're going to live, how you're going to handle your finances, what do you do about school, what do you do about getting bills paid, about housing, about health. They've been through that, and you figure the way life was for them back then was quite different than what we have now, at least with technology. So if you have elders here, be willing to talk to them. Be willing to say, hey, what do you do? How do you do this? How are you navigating that? What did you guys used to do? Because whatever they used to do sustained them. I have a 95-year-old grandfather. Do you know how much he's been through? His biggest complaint is he can't drive his car. His biggest complaint is they need to find a vaccine. So there's not this worry and concern from him, and he's 95. So I turn to him. I just call him and talk to him, see what he has to say. All he does is fussing and grumpy, and it keeps him going. So if you have elders, talk to them. Listen to them. This is the time to turn on their wisdom, to try their wisdom, to empower you to take the steps and the actions you're going to have to keep taking. And if you didn't have a long-range plan in your life, if you didn't have your savings built up, your emergency funds, the things they've said that we need along the way, then this is where your elders may be able to help you, because what they know how to do good is they know how to stretch a dollar. That was the biggest thing I heard growing up. Now, if you don't, like myself, so many of my elders are on the other side. They're my ancestors. And I turn to them, I talk to them, and I listen to them. I listen to them for guidance. I listen to them for direction. And that comes as like little small whispers. So somewhere in there, you have to cultivate a practice of either meditation or stillness or just sitting and asking for the guidance and then waiting to hear it. But they're available to us. So we have history physically with us as far as the elders here on the planet. Hi, Jose. And then we have ancestors who've crossed over on the other side. Now, religion doesn't tell you this per se. These are the teachings that are passed down by I think it's called the griots, that pass down the stories of our history to us. So you may not find this anywhere. And I know I found it particularly in the teachings of, I want to say, the Yoruba Handbook. So that's where I found mine with Baba Ifa Kerede. Nevertheless, you have power, you have support on this side of it, so to speak, with elders, and on the other side with our ancestors. And you get to sit and ask them for questions and guidance and what did they do. See, so often we're so busy running from our history and running from slavery and running from this to be accepted that we're forgetting our ancestors have been through this. They know what to do. They know how to navigate these waters. They know how to have the mindset that's strong enough. When you think about it, what do you think the mindset was to be snatched up from where you lived all your life and be put on a boat? You know, what's the mindset? What's the strength of that? What's the strength of a 95-year-old on this planet right now? Do you know how many wars they've lived through, how many breadlines they've lived through, how many presidents they've lived through, and they're still here and they're not in fear? Baby boy, baby girl, that's wisdom all around us. We're not going to find that in anybody's book. So before you get nervous, before you're afraid, before you get worried, before you start saying, oh, I don't know, I can't do, look in your circle to see what you have already there. I call my godfather every other week just to see what he has to say and see what to take a temperature on his energy and his attitude. He was grumpy in the beginning. He said, this is just the shits. I need to go buy a car. I need to get to my doctor. I'm like, we're in a pandemic or something. This is the shits. I need to get a car. 95, you can get a car. That's your focus. So from then on, I just keep calling him, see what he's got to say now. Oh, we need to get that fool out of office. Or they put me in a hotel for a month because of this, this, and this. But there's no worry in his voice. There's no fear. And he's on a fixed income. It's not like he's living like they would say high on the hog. So that's my elder present. Who are your elders? How much do you respect them? How often do you sit at their feet? I used to sit at my grandmother's feet. I love my grandmother Precious so much. I would just sit there with her. She didn't even have to say nothing. I just loved her. But she carried the strength of wisdom with her. And we also knew not to mess with her. She'd throw an orange and hit you upside the back of your head in a heartbeat. But it'd be years and years and years later that I remember all of those who I love so dearly were still available to me as my ancestors on the other side. I have no problem saying, Mom, what about this? Or Grandma, what about this? Or how does this happen? I just ask into the universe and I wait for answers. So I want to tell you today to strengthen your mindset by pulling on your elders or pulling on your ancestors. To make the time to sit in that stillness with them, to talk with them, to call their names. I've got a picture of my mom, her siblings, my grandmother, everybody right there on my wall. As soon as I walk out, it's right on my altar. To strengthen me, to remind me they made it through this journey and we'll make it through too. And technically, we should be making it through better than them because we have more choices, more options, more possibilities. You're not in this alone, no matter what you think, no matter what they're saying. You're not in it alone. And be mindful too. Not first your elders, second your ancestors. The third thing, be mindful of what you're saying to yourself. Be mindful. You've made it through difficult times before. I know, not like this, but still, you've got that girth inside of you that you can pull on. And that's what you pull on to strengthen and still this. This is the only thing that's going to drive you crazy in this process, is what your mind says to you. So when you can go sit with your elders and they can say, oh, baby girl, let me tell you, we were growing up, we had to do this, 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 and this. I miss those stories now. I'd love to hear those stories now. Oh, baby girl, we used to do this, this, and this, and we had to go do this. My family was a little bit more quieter. My mama says we talk too much right now. We just talk, talk, talk. They were more action-oriented. But you could hear the stories of strength, of courage, of determination, of unwavering faith. See, a lot of people who are coming up now, you didn't have the church, you didn't have that faith, you didn't have grandmas on you saying, you got to get up and go to church this morning. You either went to church or you went to work, but you didn't stay in bed. Well, now I may not be as affiliated with it, but that was anchored in me. This is where you have your source of supply for whatever you need all the time, no matter what the circumstances are. It's not outside of you, it's right there inside of you. And that's what I want to tell you as we begin this week. We are on Zoom. We already got a notice from school that Zoom is overwhelmed and can't do anything. I don't know what America's going to do, but they need to educate these students. I know that much. So we're already having to deal with those kind of challenges. We're about a week away from what would be Labor Day, another holiday. So those are the things that we just are going to have to deal with. But I don't want you getting upset. I don't want you in worry. I don't want you in fear. If you've made it this far, you're going to make it the rest of the journey. You've made it March, April, May, June, July, August. You made it 6 months. So we're looking at September, October, November, December, January. Yeah, we're looking at probably another 6 months. If you can make it through those, though, you can make it through the next ones. So I'm just on today to remind you, those people that you may get mad at or get on your nerves, in some cultures, I know it's really honored and respected, but your elders can support you in this journey if you ask the right questions. They've been doing it longer than you have. And if you don't necessarily have elders, because I know people started creating their lives earlier, my elders were like, when I was growing up, they were like in their 80s. I didn't have anybody in my 40s, but you may not have as many, but then go back a couple of generations. Whoever is here that's older, they can tell you the mindset you have to steal for yourself to walk through this journey. And then if it's like my life, they're on the other side. Feel free to talk to them. They're waiting to hear from you. Your ancestors will guide you. Some people call them guides, spiritual guides, celestial guides and beings. They're on this journey with you. So ask for what you're looking for. Ask for the guidance. Ask for the direction. Ask for the resources. Ask when you're saying, oh my God, what do I do? Ask God, life in the universe, ancestors, celestial beings. What is it I need to do? What is my next step? And then listen for the answer. Remember, you didn't know. That's why you asked. So now listen for the answer of what they say. And then next, what's the last thing? You got to take action. Take action. So I trust you had a nice weekend in spite of whatever may have been going on, that you found some peaceful places for you to be still with yourself. You enjoy yourself and your family, your friends, nature and life and what's unfolding, and that you're ready to go again. That if you need to get your test, you get the test. I haven't had a test. I haven't had any symptoms. Go get your test. If you need to quarantine, you do that. If you need to travel, yes, there are some people traveling. Do that safely. Live your life. Do not let this be a year of, oh my goodness, forget 2020. I want 2021. No, this is a powerful year. And then our reminder that started it, which was in January, Kobe was the one that knocked us off off balance. Kobe was getting us ready. Now we get to honor him again as we celebrate his birthday. And a remembrance of what he brought us. All those years he played, but more importantly, what he brought us at the beginning of this year. Because it was his exit that caught our attention and hit our hearts so hard in the very beginning. And it's been hitting our hearts ever since. So take good care. Have a great day. Remember your elders, your ancestors, celestial beings. You have guidance you can depend on, you can trust on, you can lean on, you can listen to, and you can follow. I do, and I want the same for you. Bye for now.